Hello, everybody. Welcome back to SparkleDart. I hope you had a fun vacation, if you went on vacation. If not, I hope you had a fun afternoon or morning or whatever time of day you work, but you have off opposite of that time of day. Like me, I work evenings and nights, not on separate days. Every day I work both evenings and nights, so my time off is in the morning, and that's when I'm awake and at home, and I get to play with my cats, and I get to go to the tennis court and learn how to shoot a birdie or whatever the saying is, because I know about tennis. I know how to play tennis, but I don't know the linguistics of tennis. So it's like people who can play an instrument but don't know how to read music, which also applies to me. I know that every good boy does fine, and I know that Face. I know about that. Face, like from Nick Jr. Remember Face? He's like, hey kids, my name's Face. Right? That was what he sounded like. Get it? Get the joke? Because that's not what he sounded like, and what I actually did was Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons. That was the joke. You like that? But anyways, Face would talk about Little Bear, and he'd talk about Rupert, and he'd talk about Franklin and how he's coming over to your house, even though you didn't invite him over and you don't even have... It's still kind of messy from last Friday when you had people over, but you didn't really bother to clean up because you were busy that weekend. You were working, or you maybe went out of town or something, and you didn't have time to pick up all those empty cans and those wrappers and stuff. And then Franklin comes over. He's like, "Wow, I didn't know you lived in such a sty." And it's like, "Well, thank you, Franklin, for being such a rude friend. You know, I would never come over to your house uninvited and then berate you for your the way that you live. I think that's disgusting on your part. I think that's very childish, infantile thing to do, and I think you should take your leave now, Franklin, because honestly, I'm getting really upset with you as of late, and if you don't stop harassing me in such a manner, then I'm going to have to, I don't know, I have to call you Mom, because she doesn't even know that you're leaving your house in the middle of the night to come over here and harass me about the way that I choose to live. It's very disgusting of you. I can't wait until school gets back in session so that you can't stay up at late at night anymore. You have to go to class in the morning. And Franklin's like, well, I understand that, and I think that what you're saying is very apt, but, you know, you understand how I am and who I choose to be. I'm a very rude turtle. I'm a rude turtle, and I don't take kindly to criticism. And I know you're going to criticize me, so I hope that you understand that I'm not okay with the way that you treat me as your friend. I'm like, Franklin, you know what? I never really considered you a friend in the first place. You know, we went to church together, and then maybe had mentioned that I go mudding sometimes with my truck, and you're like, well, that sounds great. That sounds like a lot of fun. And I'm like, yeah, it is fun. It's a lot of fun, but you're kind of young for that. You don't know how to drive a car, so what sort of interest can you possibly have in mudding, Franklin? Thank you for... Oh, dang. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, that's, you know, that was my experience with that guy. He moved away like 5 years ago. I haven't heard from him since. He tried to add me on Facebook like right after he moved away, but I declined that because I wasn't super interested in continuing to be harassed. You know, you ever go on a social media website, you know, Facebook or something like that, so similar, and you have maybe a friend or somebody who tries to add you that you used to know in the past, like in high school or even middle school or something like that, and you're like, well, I never really liked you that much back then, and we haven't talked in over 6 years, and because of that, I don't really feel the need to add you, because you're probably going to try and message me on the chat and be like, hey, we should meet up sometime, we should get together, or we should catch up, go to a coffee shop, maybe we can go down to Fenway Stadium, get some franks and watch the big game, you know? It's like, well, I appreciate the gesture, but, you know, I don't really like, I mean, I like baseball just fine, but I'm not super familiar with the sport itself, and because of that, I don't feel like it would be appropriate for me to take you up on this offer. I think that what you're asking me here is kind of outside of my comfort zone. I don't know. It's not that I don't want to. It's not that I wouldn't go to Fenway Stadium with somebody that I am close with and talk to on a day-to-day basis. Oh, Jesus. Burps every episode. But... oh, God. But, it's just, I don't know you very well, and, going to a baseball game is kind of, I don't know, intimate's not necessarily the right word, but you have to sit very close to somebody who you're not super close to, and you're not facing each other, so you don't have that eye contact thing. You just kind of making comments and passing about the game and how it's progressing to each other as you're looking at each other, not looking at each other, I should say, and then maybe you want a hot dog but you don't have cash or something, and you ask me if I'll buy you one. I'm like, I really don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't know that after this we're ever going to see each other again, and because of that I don't really feel like I should be spending my money on you, of all people, because it just seems, I don't know, it seems like you're trying to take advantage of me, or you think that some reason you think that we're still close enough that we can do things like that, even though, like I said, we was never really close in the first place. So I'm going to have to decline the offer, and I feel bad about it, I really do, but it's just, you understand, dang, okay. You know what? Screw it. I mean, I feel bad about it, you know, I really do. But the thing is, and then he starts breaking down and crying on you, saying, "Well, I don't really have any friends, you know. I've never really been a super social person, and because of that, I think that I always thought that I should try to reconnect with some people that maybe I talked to in the past." It's like, well, you know, you understand, I didn't really like you that much back then. We had an English class together, and you also sat with me and my group of friends at lunch, and I was the only one who wasn't outright rude to you because I'm a nice person and I would never be rude to somebody that was trying to make friends but didn't necessarily know how to do so very well. But I wasn't rude enough to tell you to go away, even though I kind of wanted to. And he's like, well, you know what, I understand that, it makes sense. If you had told me that, I would have understood completely. You probably wouldn't have been the first person to tell me to go away, but I appreciate that you didn't, and because of that I thought we could be friends. I'm like, I still, you know what, I can't take you up on that. I'm an adult now, I live an adult life, and I've got very important things to do, and I hardly have enough free time as it is, so it's just not, you know, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I feel bad about what I said just now, but you really need to understand. And if you don't understand it, then I can't explain it to you any better. He's like, I understand that completely. Did you ever have a friend like that on Facebook? Was what I was asking, and spent like 6 minutes explaining. Oh, Jesus, I really hope not, because, you know, those people, it's sad that they have to do the things that they have to do, but, you know, nobody wants to be alone. Nobody wants to be alone and neglected and spit on and laughed at and tormented and spray painted. Because if you do that to a person, it might drive them to do something rash and stupid. Like what? I don't know. It could be any number of things, but if it's something that affects you negatively, or other people negatively, then you can't help but feel blame for the things that you have caused this other human to do. Now, recently in the news there's been a slew of college campus shootings, which is of course not okay. Don't shoot people. I don't feel like I should have to stress that one at all. I feel like you should just know not to shoot people. But if that is not the case, and I just made another huge boner, then just, you know, say la vie. See, I brought it back again. I'm good at that. I'm talented, and I know how to time a joke. I know how to time a joke and tell it with flying aplomb. Is that the right word? Aplomb? Is that even a word that people use anymore? I don't know. So there's a category of words that don't exist outside of that don't exist outside of just various sayings or anecdotes that people say, like to and fro. Nobody uses the word fro anymore when not referring to a hairstyle, and instead of fro meaning, or to and fro basically means here and there. So fro, I guess, would mean there. And people don't use people don't use the word fro to mean there anymore. They might use the word yonder. I use the word yonder every once in a while. I use it every day at work. I like, do we still have any work to do down over yonder? As a joke, of course. I would never say that seriously. It sounds ridiculous. But I do say it, and I do say it pretty much every day at work. Like, it's one of the, it's one of those things like, how's the hammer hanging? Or how about that weather? It's like one of those things that people just say because being a mature adult and being social, it just loses all charm. When you're younger and you're learning how to be social, it's like, hi, this is a lot of fun. I could totally do this forever. And then when you get older, you're like, well, I don't really enjoy talking to you anymore, so I'm just going to use I can't think of the word. It's you know what I'm talking about. It's just pleasantries, I guess. Pleasantries is what I'm trying to say. You don't use pleasantries when you're younger. You only use them when you're older, and you have to interact with other adults every day that you don't really know anything about. And you meet so many new people as an adult that you just have to know how to interact with them in a way that seems natural, even though you don't really want to and don't really care. I know I certainly don't. So nice. Okay, so now that I've taught you everything that I know about being a social adult human being, I think, hold on here, we got some time to kill. I can kill time. I'm a master of killing time. Not like literally, because you can't kill an intangible object, but like wasting time, I guess you could say. I don't want you to think that I'm wasting time doing what I'm doing here, but I have to make cuts and edits and stuff every once in a while when I open up my Adobe Premiere Video Makers, and I have to know how to do that without really sacrificing any additional minutes, I guess you could say. So thank you for watching. I've been SparkleDart. Be sure to come back again soon. I will stop trying to talk like a fucking idiot maybe someday. Not today though. Today's gonna be another idiot day, like every other day has been in the past. So I hope you are okay with that. Goodbye. Mwah.